Simplify your expense tracking from Outlook to your expense system. You've just returned from your business trip when a new email pops up. It's your flight expense receipt. You open it, check the details, and confirm everything looks good. Now, with Expense Buddy, you can submit it directly to Maconomy for reimbursement, right from Outlook without switching screens. Hey, you just received an email with your flight expense receipt from your business trip. Now, you need to submit the expenses to Maconomy for reimbursement. Instead of manually entering it, just open the email and click on Expense Buddy. Everything happens within Outlook. No need to switch systems. Now, go to the New tab and enter a description. This will be the name of your expense sheet. Need to scan your receipt? Just click on Extract Data from Outlook attachment to pull in the details. Voila! Your expense line is automatically created. Here, you'll see key details like total expense, receipt date, unit price, tax, and vendor name, all automatically filled in from the receipt right inside Outlook. Now, select job name, work code, and enter the expense sheet line description. Again, without leaving Outlook. Reviewed all details? Great, now you can save it. Want to double-check everything? You can review the total expense, job code, work code, and all other details right here before submission. See the status? It shows your expense sheet is saved but not yet submitted for approval. Need to add more expenses to the same sheet? Click Add more expense to include additional expense lines. Note that you won't be able to add more expenses once the sheet is submitted. Everything looks good? Click Submit for approval and your expense entry will be sent to Maconomy for review. Copy this expense sheet number. Now, let's see how it gets submitted to Maconomy. Head over to the Expenses module in Deltek Maconomy. You'll find the expense added from Expense Buddy. Go to My Open Expenses and paste the expense sheet number to find your sheet. Found it? Open it and check the details. Entry date, job number and job name, task and description, unit price with currency, amount base and tax base, exchange rate. Check View Receipts to see all attached receipts. Submitted status means your sheet is sent for review. And that's how Expense Buddy works. Quick, simple, and hassle-free. Hey, you just returned from your business trip and have multiple receipts for expenses incurred during your trip. Instead of manually entering each one into Maconomy for reimbursement, let Expense Buddy handle it for you. Simply lay out all your paper receipts on a table, snap one picture of them all, and email it to yourself once. No need to take separate pictures for each receipt. Just send the email to yourself, and Expense Buddy will help you enter these expenses into Maconomy directly from Outlook without switching screens. Open the email you just sent to yourself. It contains an image attachment with 6 different expense receipts. Open Expense Buddy and go to the New tab and enter a description. This will be the name of your expense sheet. Click Extract Data from Outlook attachment to scan the receipts. Expense Buddy automatically scans and separates multiple receipts from a single image, creating an expense line for each receipt in the image. It extracts details like receipt date, unit price, tax for each receipt. Select the job name, work code, and enter the expense sheet line description without even leaving Outlook. Fill out each expense line. Select the job name, work code, and enter the expense sheet line description. It even crops and separates each receipt while identifying the vendor's name automatically. Now click on Save. The status now indicates that the expense sheet line is saved but not yet submitted for reimbursement. Copy this expense sheet number. Now click on Submit for Approval button. Now let's see how it gets submitted to Maconomy. Head over to the Expenses module in Maconomy. You'll find the expense added from Expense Buddy. Go to My Open Expenses and enter the expense sheet number to find your sheet. Entry date, job number and job name, task and description, unit price with currency, amount base, tax base, exchange rate, receipts. You can also view the receipt images that were cropped and attached during submission. And that's it. The status will now show as submitted. Your expense sheet is on its way for reimbursement. You've made several business purchases using your company credit card, and now you have multiple email receipts to match with your expense sheet lines in Maconomy. Manually finding and linking each receipt? That's time-consuming and prone to errors. With credit card entry matching, we've made this process effortless, all within a single system. Just open your credit card receipt email and use the credit card entry matching feature in Expense Buddy. It will scan the receipt details, such as amount and date, and also extract and save the image of each transaction receipt from that email separately. Then, it will automatically match the receipt with your existing expense sheet lines in Maconomy based on amount, date, and text 3 field. The matched expense sheet lines will appear in a drop-down, allowing you to easily select the correct one. No need to switch screens or manually cross-check. Just scan, match, and submit, all in one place. So here is your email with an attached credit card transaction receipt. Time for a quick review. The receipt includes key details such as amount, transaction date, and vendor name. Open Expense Buddy and click Link Credit Card Bill. Then, click Extract Attachment Details to scan the receipt. Attachment scanned. The system reads the receipt and extracts amount and date, and also extract and save the image of each transaction receipt from that email separately. The matched expense sheet lines will appear in a drop-down. Now simply select the appropriate expense sheet line. Now, select the job number, work code. Enter the expense sheet line description, without even leaving Outlook. Everything looks good? Click Save to finalize the entry. And that's it. Your credit card receipt is now successfully matched and linked to your expense sheet, quick, accurate, and all in one place.